Hello and welcome to Tech Town.
Tech Town.
Season 2, episode 29.
Oh yeah, getting up there.
It's a Midsummer's Night Dream, and
Oh,
we are keeping cool over here at Tech Town.
Oh yeah, we're keeping cool.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Ellsberg. This is our town wizard.
Boom.
And we talk all things tech here at Tech Town. This week, we're getting into how to keep cool and beat this summer heat.
Yeah, it's been hot. I don't know if the internet has been hot, but the real Portland life has been hot. It's been real hot.
That's right. And so not only in Portland, but like all around the world, like, you know, things are getting hotter.
Yeah.
And we got to deal with it.
And we got to deal with it.
We got to deal with it. There are ways to deal with it, and we here at Tech Town are going to show you those ways. We're going to talk about the good things and the bad and get right to it.
All right, let's beat the heat.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ways to beat the heat. I'd say the first thing you can do, the caveat on this one is it has to be a place that's pretty low humidity. Mm-hmm. But if you have a place that's pretty dry, mm-hmm. then you can build a swamp cooler. Okay. Sometimes they call it an evaporative cooler. There's a couple different words for it. Right. What it is it's not powered by electricity. It's just, you can make it out of a bucket and some cloths and other things, and I'll show you the link to the instructions. But it'll be sort of like this air conditioner. For not necessarily your whole house or anything, but a small space, or if you're going camping or to Burning Man or something, when it's really dry and really hot, right. You can build this little air conditioning sort of unit that doesn't even take any power.
How's it work?
So here, let's take a look. So we've got, you start out with a bucket. And by the way, this is from Instructables.com, which is a pretty good site. I think, you know, a lot of websites of like how to, or what's it called, howto.com or eHow. Yeah. And sometimes they're kind of filled with a bunch of crap. It's not very good. It's mostly just people who think they know what they're doing. Instructables, I usually think, is a lot better. So check it out. This is Fig Jam Swamp Cooler. You can see it's just out of like a Home Depot bucket and a tubing. And so they have the nice list of all the gear that you need. So to show all the items. So you've got your pump that you need, like a little fountain pump that's going to pump the water around. You got your bucket, you got a little fan, some tubing and stuff, and that little the hose part that comes out at the end. And all this stuff is pretty cheap. You can see the pump's only $9, the fan's $7, the bucket's $7. You can probably find a free bucket, and then you just put it together. And the idea is that you gotta get is it water in there that will then filter through the system and be cooling down the air from the air intake that comes around.
Cool.
So yeah, I'd say, again, only for really certain situations. It's not like you're going to build this for your house, or, you know, even in the Willamette Valley, it's pretty humid. But if you're going out to Eastern Oregon, or if you live somewhere else, it's pretty dry.
Yeah, the dry thing works here, huh?
Exactly. Check it out.
Now, if you didn't use this in a dry area, I mean, is it just gonna? I mean, are you literally gonna
explode?
You're gonna have a swamp.
Yeah, it blows up. No, it just won't work very well. Yeah. But or you create a swamp out of a swamp. I don't know. Yeah, what if you did it? What if you took it to a swamp? What would it do? That's like a tree falls in the forest kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you even notice it? I mean,
no.
Would that be it?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it would feel like the city.
Maybe it's a swamp warmer at that point.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it warms up the swamp, right? When the swamp's so cold. Yeah. Okay. So next on the list, this is a way to stay cool, not only because your food can stay cool, but also because you can stay really cool looking with the coolest cooler.
Okay.
So the coolest cooler was a Kickstarter project, and at the time, I think it was the #1 most funded Kickstarter project of all time. It was also built or started by a guy from Portland, which is awesome. So this is the coolest cooler. It's not out yet. He's still making it, and I have one ordered, so I'll have to do a full report once I get mine.
Right.
But it's a cooler that's super just ready for all the best things you ever need. So they have a blender, as you can see there. They've got a battery that you can charge your phones on. They've got LED lights. They've got separators, I think, down here that they show all the features.
Wow.
I like the separator idea, because one thing I always find is that the ice, when you dump it in the cooler, just gets the whole cooler wet. Yeah. So if you could just have a separator between the ice and the rest of the stuff, then your ice can melt and, you know, keep things cold, but the rest of it can actually not get all soaked in water.
Right. Okay. So it's got all these different things. It's got all these great features.
Oh, yeah.
And when did you put in your order?
So that was a while ago. I mean, these things take a long time. So it was maybe not quite a year ago, but definitely like 9 months to a year ago.
Wow.
And so, yeah, when did it end? Let's see. The campaign ended, doesn't say. Okay. Well, anyway, and what did he raise? $13 million? Is that what it said?
Yeah, it looked like it, right around 13.
$13 million. I mean, his original thing was way less than that. So I'm excited to try this thing out, and it will definitely keep me the coolest.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we'll see if it actually comes out.
Storage, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll see that. Nice.
Yeah,
Bottle opener.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the boombox. Okay, so, all right. Looks great. I hope it actually comes out.
Well, right. That's the question. We'll see.
This is our Kickstarter thing.
Uh-huh.
Yep. We've had a couple tech towns on fundraising money.
It's true. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So after staying cool with the coolest cooler, where do you go? So we've got.
Sometimes you got to escape. You literally have to get out.
It's true. Sometimes there's no way to escape the heat except escaping the heat.
Yeah.
So in Oregon, at least here, we've got a bunch of rivers and lakes, which are wonderful to go to.
Mm-hmm.
You can be floating in a river. You can be hanging out on a beach. So I've got a couple links in the show notes below the description of the video. To some websites. There's an Oregon.com website that just talks about rivers.
Mm-hmm.
TravelOregon.com has a bunch of recommendations. But what do you think? You've been out to probably most every body of water around.
Yeah, I would say a couple of things to keep in mind when it gets hot. You want to get up.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get up in elevation, or you want to get near water.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you get higher, then at night it gets cooler, right? Other things to keep in mind is if you can get to a dry area, then at night it will cool down significantly, which is really nice. Yeah, because I think sleep is a lot of times a hard thing that people have
when it's hot outside. So it's nice.
But,
so do you have?
But yeah,
specific,
well, I mean, there are certain spots,
not the best spots.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
general, I mean, obviously you've got to get out to the gorge.
Yes, totally.
The Columbia River Gorge. Now, see, but we're also talking here in Pacific Northwest, and we have tech townies all across the world.
That's true. That's
true. So we kind of got to be, but Oregon is a great place. I advise you to check it out, but not move here.
That's true. Yeah, come visit. So here's the advice for all the people that are not in Oregon right now. If it's really, really hot wherever you are, come visit to one of our lakes, come visit to a river, and then get out of here. All right.
Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, even in Portland, you can go up to Sauvie Island, which is really close. You can even actually go and jump in the Willamette River, which is the river that runs through town. And they have a swim Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 7:15 in the morning, I think, right under the Bearcats Park, under the Hawthorne Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can go and swim across the river and back.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
So boom, there's that.
All right, cool. So let's say we are going out to a river or lake up in the mountains, especially.
All right.
And especially for camping, a lot of times what you might want is a water filter.
Yep.
So a lot of times they don't have water for you at some of these campgrounds, or especially if you're backpacking just out into the woods or the wilderness, they don't have water for you. So you'll either have to bring all your water in, which sometimes is too much, or you bring a water filter. And water filters aren't just like the ones you Brita filters at home. They're like to get out the bacteria that would cause you to get sick. So you have to get some of these special ones. There's a bunch of different kinds. This is a whole world of, trying to learn which water filter to get. Some of them are UV and they blast and kill the bacteria. Some of them are physical filters that filter out things. So I just have a link to some well-reviewed ones on Amazon. But have you found any kind to be good? Or
I have not really been into the water filters. I'm usually just carrying all of my water from place to place.
Wow, impressive.
So lots and lots of water.
Yeah.
But this week I'll be going down to Yosemite and trying out some water filters.
Okay.
So I will, come back and let you know.
Excellent. Good.
How things go.
Okay, so now you come back to your house in the city, and it's still hot.
Yep.
And you have your thermostat, and your thermostat maybe is your central air conditioning if you have it.
Right.
But that's not that efficient. It doesn't maybe go on at all the right times. Maybe you're good enough to be able to program it to say go on at the same time every day. That's a little bit better than just being, I'll just leave it on all the time. But now Nest, the company Nest, came out with a thermostat that's like the thermostat of the future.
Right.
So it kind of looks cool. It's this little thing that goes on the wall. And instead of the old kind of thermostat, not only can you program it, but it also can be aware of like the weather. And so that's a big one. If it can automatically go on when the weather's hot, then you don't have to worry about programming the times, and you don't have to worry about it being inefficient. It'll just go on when it's hot.
Right. Very cool. And it will even remember past settings that you have. And so, you know, maybe this time of the year you like it, or this time of the day you like it to be at these certain temperatures. And so you can really individualize it as well.
Exactly. And I think it also links now with if this then that. So I mean, if you get a post on Facebook, you can make it colder in your house or something. I don't know.
Well, maybe you can, maybe it knows if you're getting close to home or something like that.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
It turns on.
All right. You should be an IFT recipe creator. Okay. So now we're pretty staying cool in the house. We figured out where to go to some rivers and lakes. But we want to have fun around the house. Let's have a freaking water fight.
Yeah, okay.
And we gotta,
in the house.
Yeah, well, in the house. Yeah. Start in the house.
Yeah.
And then once you get kicked out of the house, then you do it outside. But I've got a link to the 9 best water guns.
Okay.
Because those are always fun. So the one of them, I was impressed because this list was from 2014, so it's fairly recent. And I think the first one they showed on the list was like one of the super soakers I had when I was growing up. So those things are still kicking it.
All right, so this is from the Huffington. Oh,
yeah, see, that was like
that was I love this.
That was the 50. I think I had the 100 at some point, but they've got some other good recommendations. They've got a little hand blaster, and I think just water guns were super fun. It was always good to have water fights. And then they had some of the epic, huge ones. I don't know, the super soaker, like
water cannon.
10,000. Oh yeah,
I mean
that hooks directly in
now.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
Militarizing your backyard. What?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little too intense.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Pressure
washer. Yeah, now let's have a water fight.
Oh, wow.
Jet
jetpack. I mean, some of these you cannot use in California, you know,
no.
because it's a drought down there.
California's not going to be happy with the water jetpack. But while we're still in a place that doesn't quite have the drought, then check out some of those water guns.
Exactly. So boom, which brings us to.
All right. So last couple things we've got. Ice cube trays. Okay. There's really fun ones. I had a Star Wars X-Wing ice cube tray. Whatever shape your ice cubes are in, if they're cooler, you can stay cooler. That's my guess. Anyway, weather apps. You know, you want to know how hot. I was looking at the weather app, and it's going to be hot this week. So you got to plan for when you're going to need to get out of town or what time of day it gets hotter. So these have some good reviews of which weather apps are the best weather apps. Okay. Insulating your house is a big one. Just huge. You know, if you own a house or if you are renting and that owner of the house is able to insulate their house, that means that if you can keep the house cool, it'll stay cool, and then you don't have to keep cooling it. It's a good idea. One of the most efficient ways to sort of save money. And
save money, save energy,
save the world.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So if you happen to be in Dubai, or I think Japan, or maybe I think there's one. We'll take a look at the article, but there are indoor ski slopes that are open year-round.
Wow.
So they make their own snow, and if you just feel like skiing a little bit, and our skiing season may not be the best right now.
Right, you can still get up there.
You can?
Yeah, so yeah, I've seen some stuff that it was open as of last week, Timberline Lodge.
Really?
Yeah,
wow. So. All right, so there's still a little bit, but if that doesn't cut it, then try an indoor ski slope. And last is, not only do we all need to stay cool, but you got to keep your computer cool.
Very true.
So your computer, it has a fan, and it's sometimes like a laptop or a desktop, and it sometimes can overheat. A lot of times what will happen is dust will get into the fan, and so the fan isn't as efficient. It's not actually doing as much.
Right.
So I have a link to a bunch of ways to keep your computer cool. I think the most important one is just to clear out that dust. So if you get one of those air can sprayers, those aren't actually that strong. So I had to get a one you plug in, and it's sort of like a reverse vacuum. It's kind of like an air blower, but that really can get the dust out. Wow. So take one of those, get in there, open up your laptop or your desktop. Be careful, you don't want to ruin things with static electricity, but clear out all that dust, and you'll notice that laptop will get a lot less hot because that fan's actually cooling it a lot better. And my computer is even starting to have real trouble because it was getting so hot. Some things might have actually been breaking in the hardware because it was overheating.
Wow.
So not only will it make it a little faster, but it also may prevent breaking your computer to keep that cool.
Yeah, computer maintenance, keep it cool.
Keep it cool.
And that's a big thing, man. You want to stay cool.
Stay cool.
It doesn't matter what you're doing, where you're at. I mean, yeah.
It's that time to stay,
it's the time,
stay
yeah,
cool.
it's the time of the year. You got to think about these things.
Except, I guess, if you're in the southern hemisphere or somewhere where this isn't summer.
In which case, watch again in 6 months.
Yeah, this will be online in 6 months. Go check it out. All right, so that's that.
Yep.
Brings us to the music start of the week. Excellent. So this week's music site is the Wikipedia page for all of the genres and styles of music.
Wow.
All of them. So, theoretically Wikipedia, since it knows all, this is starting at A, or numbers actually, all styles of music.
Oh,
you got two-step garage, two-tone, 4-beat. You got your acapella, you got acid house, acid jazz, acid rock, acoustic. I mean, it just goes on.
Wow.
So if you ever wanted to, and you can click on each one and learn all about that style, but I was just impressed that someone or, a lot of people tried to make the whole list of
holy smokes.
musical genres. And each letter then becomes broken down even further into just BAC through BAL.
Holy
oh my
crazy.
Gosh. Oh, so many musics.
Oh, wow.
I want some bit bop.
I want some Amazonian folk music.
Oh, yeah, some boy. Oh, boy. So, yeah, take a look. Find ones you've never heard of before and start listening.
What? That is crazy. Holy smokes. Yeah. Get in there. Check out the different types of music. I mean, I'm sure that there's all sorts of types of music that you like to listen to that you didn't even know were a certain type of music.
Well, right. I mean, Boy, for example. So, yeah.
All right. Which brings us to
Mr. Ellsberg's website of the week.
All right. So, we're talking Keepin Cool here. And there's a few different things to consider when you're out and about, trying to be active, keeping cool.
Okay.
A couple pieces of technology or things that I've been using lately are a full-on top, which has a hood, which is SPF 50. And here's an example of what I'm talking about. And I'll jump right into it. All right, boom. Boom. And so this is so when you're out and about, being active, it's going to be hard to maybe keep up on the sunscreen situation.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah. And so here's one that Prada makes or whatever. But so basically this is a US or a UPF 50 material. And it totally covers your upper torso, which is super important when you're out and about to have something like this. A lot of different brands make this. This is a locally owned company.
So this does make a big difference between shirts that don't have this, because I would assume,
huge
can't you just wear
a because
shirt?
Even if you're not getting sunburnt, a lot of times other kinds of I guess the sun rays can get to your skin and cause cancers or deformities in your skin. So
it's good to know.
Yeah, something to think about. This is one that's really cool. And then also another one that I've been using lately, they're coming out with all these cool kinds of materials for quick drying.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. And so these are ones that made by Hurley, which is owned by Nike, which is a local company. Well, I guess the global local company. But yeah, this is one. I mean, it's crazy. This stuff, you bring it out of the water, and after maybe a minute, it's totally dry.
Whoa.
And so yeah, especially when you're out being active, being wet can a lot of times lead to rashes and other things.
Yeah.
It's just generally uncomfortable, and these just super quick dry, are very stretchy, and a lot of different companies are making this sort of thing now.
Nice. Are these super expensive right now?
So they're expensive, and that's the thing. And I'm not sure whether it's the material or whatever it is, but yeah, they're totally waterproof. Blah blah blah. I mean, kind of you're thinking about, well, I'm spending this much on snowboarding pants or snow pants or something like that. in comparison, unless you're snowboarding every day, I mean, these you can wear all the time.
That's
when
true,
it's hot,
yeah.
you know?
That's definitely
And
true.
So yeah, something to think about.
Nice.
Yeah. So which brings us to
all right, security. Nice. Okay, so this is just sort of a general tip about computer security or just security in general. Yeah. There's kind of a concept of how could you identify that it's you. So one example is a password, a username and a password. That's some way to identify yourself. So in a website, you would log in with maybe a username and a password. Another way that you've seen in the movies to like identify yourself is maybe the fingerprint or the retina scan. You know, like in the movies when they need to like go into the super secret facility, the retina scan, they put their eye in. And then sometimes it's like, you know, a password that you may know. Sometimes it's a fingerprint or an eye thing that may be part of your body.
Like on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. The phone does a fingerprint. And sometimes it's a thing you have. So a lot of times it'll be like a key card that you swipe.
Okay.
So out of all these, you know, ways of sort of passwords and security and whatever, it's come down to these three concepts, the categories of these things. One of them is something that you have.
Okay.
One of them is something you know, and one of them is something that you are.
Okay.
So each of those, all the things I was just talking about can sort of be classified in each one of these categories. So something you have could be like that key card or your driver's license or your credit card.
Yeah.
Something you know would be a secret that you know, like a password.
Yep.
Something you are would be something like a fingerprint or retina or, you know, whatever else they could sense from your body. So the really ideal security has one in each of the categories. Right. So if you want to do top level, you know, super secret security, have it be a password and a key card and a fingerprint.
Right.
And that's, you know, good job touching your base. All the bases.
Holy smokes.
So passwords usually are pretty good, but it's only the something you know. So
yeah.
All right, so there you go.
Well, boom, we talked about keeping it cool.
Keeping it cool. Good luck.
We talked about all of those music.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
every single music,
so ridiculous. And then, a few different ways to, keep extra cool.
I like those shorts. I want to see how they do.
And then finally, you know, like,
something you have, something you know, something you are. Yeah, get secure.
That's crazy. All right, well, we will be back. Maybe within the month, we're going to be out and about doing things.
We're keeping cool. It's summer break.
We're keeping cool, summer break. And so thank you for viewing, and we will be back at you soon enough here at Tech Town.
Peace.